A young woman is rushing to the office when, all of a sudden, her ID card and file slip from her hands and fall onto the ground. A car tire rolls over her ID card. The young woman goes to her boss and says to her arrogant boss that her card is stuck under his car tire and politely asks him to move his car forward a little so she can take it out. The arrogant boss says that he is in a great hurry and cannot move his car because he is already late. Then the arrogant boss leaves with his female assistant. The young woman tries to pull her card out from under the car by herself, but the strap breaks and she falls backward. Just then, a young man arrives on a bicycle and stops near her. He asks what happened. The young woman tells him that her card is trapped under the car tire and asks him for help. The young man parks his bicycle to the side. The young man then tells the young woman that he will move the car just a little so she can quickly pull out her card. After struggling with great effort, he manages to move the car slightly, and the young woman quickly pulls out her card. As soon as she gets it out, she happily hugs the young man and thanks him. However, the card is badly damaged. The young man tells her that she can manage with it for today. The young woman says yes and leaves for the office. Meanwhile, the arrogant boss and his female assistant go to the manager and present the same project that the young woman had created. After looking at the project, the manager asks who made it. At that moment, the young woman also arrives and says that she created it herself. The arrogant boss interrupts her and claims that he made it himself. The manager signals the young woman to leave, and she quietly walks away. Later in the company, the young woman meets the young man again. The young man tells her that he is a chef in the company. When she reaches the office, her boss orders her to prepare a new project immediately. The young woman says that it is very difficult to create a new project in such a short time, and that if both of them help her, it can be completed quickly. However, the arrogant boss tells her to do it herself and walks away. After a while, the young man brings food for the young woman. At the same time, the arrogant boss and the female assistant arrive. The arrogant boss angrily asks the young man who he is and why he has brought food there. The young man explains that he is the company's chef and that he brought food for the young woman. The arrogant boss gets angry and tells him that from today onward, he must never be seen around any employee. He also orders him to bring 2 cups of coffee for them, and then both of them walk away. A little later, a meeting begins. The manager tells the boss and the female assistant that the owner's son will be attending today's meeting. After some time, the same young man enters the meeting wearing branded clothes. Seeing him, the boss and the female assistant become nervous. The discussion about the project begins. The young man asks who created the project. The boss replies that they all made it together. However, the young man says that the project was actually created by the young woman. He starts walking to bring her in, but at that very moment, the young woman also arrives. The young man asks the young woman to personally explain every detail of the project she created. The young woman confidently explains all the details of her project. The young man then says that he already knows the whole truth. Before coming there, he had disguised himself as a chef so that he could see how the bosses treated their employees. He officially appoints the young woman as the person in charge of the project. Hearing this, the boss and the female assistant begin to object. However, the young man says that both of them tried to steal someone else's hard work, and because of that, they are dismissed from their positions in the company. The boss and the female assistant begin begging for forgiveness, but the young man stands firmly by his decision and tells them to leave immediately. Both of them leave in shame. The young man then officially appoints the young woman as the head of the new project. The young woman sincerely thanks him. In the end, the arrogant boss and the female assistant receive the punishment they deserve. The young woman gets justice. Friends, if you like this video, please share it and subscribe to the channel.